What day are you coming back to work, Laura?
I don't know. I have to check with my husband and see whether or not I'm coming back.
Whether or not?
Look, I talked this over with Mr. Smith. He knows all about it. It's going to take a few weeks for her to work this out with her husband.
Oh.
You don't believe me? Go check with him.
I guess I'm sort of an old-fashioned housewife. You know, my husband is the head of the household, and I have to get his approval.
Old-fashioned, huh? Sort of modern, too. I mean, going into the park at night without giving it a second thought.
All right, lay off, man.
Look, I'm just warning her about that kind of thing. I mean, you were lucky. That could be very dangerous. Be careful. Next time, you could end up there dead.
That was a threat, Luke.
Oh,
that was a real threat.
I want to kill him so bad. He's put the squeeze on me, Laura. He's threatening to tell how I feel about you if I cross him.
Look, if Scotty ever found out how you feel about me...
I know, he might put it all together.
Scotty thinks of us as very, very good friends. Now, if he ever thought that you were the man who raped me, he would never believe that I wasn't a willing victim.
I'm destroying your life. I don't know how to...
Oh. Luke, when that man followed me in the park yesterday, I kept telling myself that you were lying to me about the organization, or at least you were exaggerating about the kind of threats they were.
I wasn't.
Well, now I know they're serious.
Dead serious, Laura.
I'm afraid.
I'll die before I let them harm you.
You can't protect me. You've been threatened, too. Where's this all gonna end, Luke? I can't go on this way much longer. I mean, even before all this happened, I was afraid to go to bed at night. I was afraid to sleep, that I might say something in my sleep that would make Scotty suspicious of you.
I know.
And now Mr. Smith is hiring Scotty and Lee to do legal work for him. Look, they are dragging us all into their web.
What are we going to do if they insist that you go to Vegas to open the club?
What can I do?
I don't know. I'll think of something.
Well, if I have to go, Luke, Scotty will come with me, and maybe we can invite Bobby, too, and well, we can make it seem like it's sort of a vacation, I guess. Some vacation. Being forced into doing something for fear of losing your life. For you?
You talked to Scott?
Yeah, we had breakfast.
What did he say?
He said a lot of things. I made my pitch, how it would be much better for Laura if she were to come back to work here. And he was very interested, and he was very concerned. And he agreed that maybe he was being a little overprotective.
Oh, that's great.
No, it's not.
Why not?
Because the way we ended up, Luke, was that he said Laura could go back to work, but she's not coming back to work here.
What?
He said that the disco is definitely out, and I said to him that it would be better for Laura if she were to come back here and be with Joanne and be able to talk to her, and he said, fine, if she wants to talk to Joanne, he'll have Joanne come over to the apartment as often as Laura wants to see her, but the disco is definitely out.
Wonderful. What am I going to do now?
I don't know, Luke.
Gotta get her back here.
I understand that, but I don't have any suggestions for you.
I think Mr. Smith has bought himself some big trouble by hiring that Baldwin law firm. Just because they're working for him doesn't mean that he can put them in his pocket. No, that kind of arrangement can work both ways.
How both ways?
Well, they could find things out about him that'll blow the whistle on all of this.
It's probably very true, although I haven't thought about it. Scotty isn't any dummy. Does Smith think he is?
No, I think it's a calculated risk he's taking in this big push to become respectable.
Yeah, all of a sudden he wants to be Mr. Big Famous Nice Guy.
Hey, well, we can understand that, can't we? We spend most of our lives trying to get away from Elm Street. It's pretty much the same thing, don't you think?
Yeah, except he's got more money to spend making the trip.
Which only means he'll probably get there.
God help poor Charles if he does.
Just a minute. Miss Smith.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson.
What are you doing here?
I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd drop by to say hello.
Oh, fine, terrific. Come on in. I can always use company.
Thank you.
Can I take your coat?
Thanks.
Okay. There we go. I just made a fresh pot of coffee. Would you like a cup?
That'd be very nice. Thank you.
Just a minute.
I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Oh, no. I'm glad to see you. Glad you're here. There you are.
Thanks.
Oh, there's some milk and sugar right here.
Great.
You were just wandering around Elm Street. It's not exactly a perfect place to stroll.
I wasn't exactly in the neighborhood. I'm afraid I came especially to see you.
I somehow suspected that. What did you want to see me about?
I want to get to know you better, Mrs. Anderson.
Well, for openers, try Ruby. Because if you call me anything else, I get very nervous.
All right, then. Ruby.
That's better. See, we're getting to be friends already. I mean, if we keep going like this, we're going to be bowling on Thursday nights. What is it you wanted to see me about?
I have to find out more about Luke.
Oh? I kind of guessed that. I guess I have some kind of ESP.
You're teasing me, aren't you?
Just a little. But what is this about Luke? I mean, I thought you knew each other terribly well.
I don't. And I don't understand the way he acts. I've never met a man that paid so little attention to me. Oh, he's pleasant enough. And my father approves of my dating him. But he keeps our relationship on such a platonic level.
You mean he doesn't make passes?
Right. Do you know if he's in love with some other girl? Someone I don't know about?
Laura, that call put your life in jeopardy.
I don't believe you.
You make that call, you put your life, mine, Bobby's, maybe even Aunt Ruby's on the line. That's the ultimate revenge, isn't it? What a fantastic way to pay me back. Oh, you can destroy us all with one phone call. But don't kid yourself. You're not doing it out of noble motives. Well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, call the operator, tell her it's an emergency. I'm sure she'll connect you to the FBI right away. Damn it, Laura. You want revenge? Make that call. If you want to live, you better listen to me.
Yes, operator, this is an emergency. I want to speak to... All right, Luke. But your story had better be good. Because if any harm, even the slightest, comes to Scotty or my father-in-law or anybody in my family, I'm going to hold you responsible.
Hey. Do you know it's great coming home to lunch and finding you waiting here like this?
It is?
It certainly is. So tell me, how is it being a lady of leisure?
Well, I'm not quite that. I mean, I still have my studying to do.
Oh, yeah, but isn't it great not having to worry about, getting ready to go to work and stuff?
You know, you're probably going to think I'm crazy, and maybe I am, but there are some drawbacks to not working, too.
To not working, you mean?
Mm-hmm. For one thing, if I kept working at the disco, it would mean being around Joanne almost every evening.
Well, is that such a big deal?
Yes, it is. Joanne and I have gotten to be pretty good friends, and, well, having that kind of contact, I think it could really help me a lot. It might be sort of a substitute for the therapy sessions that I couldn't hack at the rape center. I don't know, but there is one thing I do know, and that's I feel as though I'm kind of slipping backwards lately.
You mean because you're not being around Joanne?
Well, yes.
But you guys see each other at school all the time, don't you?
No, not very often. I mean, she's taking nursing classes, you know.
Well, listen, I have a solution for that. Why don't we'll just have Don and Joanne over, socially, have them over for dinner for something like that, huh? How about that?
Scotty, it's not the same thing. I mean, Joanne and I talk about things that are extremely personal.
Well, yeah, I know, Laura. I understand that.
Well, if I'm ever going to face what happened to me and accept it the way Joanne has, I can't hide away in this apartment, Scotty. It'll never happen.
What is it you want to do?
I want to think about going back to work somewhere. Maybe only part-time. Would you let me do that?